When was the last time we did a public video? I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, give or take a week. I'm going to try and keep it pretty short, ideally under like 10 minutes. And we're going to pick off from where we left off in the last video. I believe from a structure standpoint, we were right around this point in time. Let's see, go smaller time frame. I would say we were right about here, wherein, yeah, like right over here or here is where I made the video. And without going too in depth on the possibilities posted then, it ended up being the diagonal, wherein the one that I said I liked the least is obviously what happened. But where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and to this, and so this was our 1. And all of this subsequent price action, it's corrective, wherein we had a big expanding flat for the wave 2. If we're taking the bullish approach, which I like to take, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is our larger 1. And you can see the breakdown is in 3 swings, where you have ABC into your A, ABC into B, and then trading view doesn't show up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into C. And I'll show you that on here, just from a visual standpoint. Right, you can see pretty clearly 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So now it's a question, or there's a couple things we need to ask ourselves. First off, if this was indeed a wave 2, and we're going to go over expanding flat structure again. I've done this a lot, but just because it is important information, right? This is what an expanding flat looks like. You have ABC into A, then you have A, B, C into B, and then for C you have 5. Where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll note, or first off, let's change this degree so it pops a little bit more. This isn't correct notation or anything, by the way. This is just so you can see it. What you'll notice is the B leg is longer than the A and the C is longer than the B, meaning each leg is progressively bigger than the last, hence the term expanding. And that's just super surface level. And so moving up into it, when you connect this out, like let's say you have, this is your 1, and then this is 2, right? And then 3, 4, 5 is what it looks like from in a pattern. And this is just having it at 2, but you know, we're not going to get too deep into like structure and all that in terms of rules and whatnot. So this tells us one of two things. First off, either we are looking at this as A, B, and C, as you can see in this interpretation, which would be the bearish view. But my issue with that is I don't really know how I would count this up into here, wherein we did already come and break above this low, which on the larger term macro count is a signal that if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, this can't be a 4 because we did indeed break into this territory. And so this likely is a new trend starting to develop. Obviously the invalidation for this will be down at 15.41, I believe the level is. Let's just check quickly. Yeah, 15.41. I like know it to the penny. Isn't that obsession? But where was I going with this? So I like to think that this is a 1 and a 2, and we're about to have our 3. And the supporting arguments for this are, first off, we need to hold above 19.01 if the 2 has already bottomed in this flat where you have A, B, and C. If this is correct and that this is A, B, and C into 2, we will not come below 19.01, and then we would expect this type of structure. And now, breaking it down into a much smaller degree view, I see, you know, one of two things if we're looking at it in a bullish way. I already have everything already up, but either we are 1, 2, 3, this is a flat again, right, like the pattern I just covered, but this is a running flat instead, right, where you have A, B, and C, 4, and 5, which would be tomorrow, right? So if this happens and we sell off hard, this is potentially the last chance before a really strong move up, dependent on this low holding. And you know, that ties into like how to actually trade it, but we're not really going to be covering that here. You know what to do if you want to trade this stuff with us and track it every day. And I'll like cover more on that towards the end, but I just want to get all the raw information out first before I go deeper into the Discord. So either we're looking at 1, 2, 3, ABC into 4, where we have a running flat, and this is 5. Right? We see this, we sell off. If we sell off in ABC fashion like this, after putting in a new high tomorrow, then this could be huge. Otherwise, the alternative to this would be, you can argue that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5, right? And then we already have the 1, and now we already have the A and B, and then we're about to get the C. and there's no real way to tell where this will go. Maybe, you know, it'll look like this though. And then again, you have your invalidation down at 19.01, so this sets up like $1 of risk for a lot more than $1 in reward, assuming you don't have other variables in the equation. Where was I? Lost my count. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's like really it on like a very surface level. So if it doesn't go by holding above 19.01, then we're looking at an ABC, and this is the 2, if that makes sense, wherein this 2 would come down here, because the larger degree invalidation, remember, is 15.41. And now we're looking at this on a smaller degree, playing off 19.01 as a smaller term invalidation. If it goes like A, B, and C down like here, and we find support above 15.41, then this idea is still intact. Right? It would just get moved down like that. Geometry isn't super pretty. I would definitely count this another way, but it's still, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into A, B, and then we'd expect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down again for C. But again, I say this from trying to be as unbiased as I can. The trade in this scenario is a long trade, because from a risk reward perspective, there is just more hypothetical reward and relative to the risk that you're taking on. Not that people trade this, wink wink, but and then the one that nobody wants to see, but we need to cover it because we need to be transparent in what's possible. You have 1, you have 2, 3, 4, and 5. And so to watch for this, we cannot break above this high here, this B wave high at, let's check it, 24.88. So breaking above 24.88 will invalidate the idea of this, in my opinion, and the idea of a C, to be honest. But that is a good bit. I mean, I guess it's like $2 or $3 away, but that's not that big of a move for GME now. Fuck, we're already like 8 minutes. I mean, that's pretty much it. I've kept it as basic and surface line as I can. Now we can actually, I guess, talk hypothetical targets. Let's go to like a clean one and just go from the top. Perfect. So looking at it like this, we're projecting the length of the wave 1 from the supposed 2. And remember, we draw the connection from here versus here because this is a flat ABC. I'm not teaching that here right now. It's not. I don't want to waste your time with this. But this sets up a hypothetical wave 3 zone between 27.12 and 32.11. And so when I say that, that's the 3 that this white degree is targeting. And you know, this is just for visualization purposes. Don't actually look at the targets or anything. The numbers on here, they don't matter. And I tweak this a lot so people can see. But this zone from 27.12 to 32.1 would be the target for the 3 in white, this box right here. You know, maybe it's a stretch, maybe it's not. This is just how it would go. You would expect this box for the 3. I can't give a topside target for the 5 because we don't have a 3. Once we do have this 3 definitively put in, then I can give targets for the 5, but we don't have that yet. So we're already at 9 minutes. What the fuck? Yep, that's pretty much it. So hopefully you found this helpful or informative. Definitely not entertaining at all, right? But now, you know, of course, quick little shameless plug. The reason I'm like not active on Twitter that much anymore is because I truly do devote most, if not all of my time to the Discord, but more so in that, like, it's not necessarily just like a signal room. Like, obviously we have some great people in here calling out amazing trades, but it's more so that there's a big emphasis on like teaching, setting up optimal risk reward trades. And there's also a big emphasis on option volatility, especially when it comes to like playing earnings, because a lot of people don't know how to actually calculate basic stuff like implied moves on earnings. Obviously that's not like the main selling point. My point is, though, there is a lot of great information to be had in there, and a lot of people that join end up staying. If I can find it, I will put our like returning customer rate over like a 6-month basis up, and like that I feel like speaks for itself enough. But if you're interested in daily videos like this, but going over other tickets as well as you know, I think there's like 15 or so Elliott Wave that I post every day, and then just a chat room where we're constantly calling out levels and price targets and looking at stuff in real time to make informed decisions. If that's your thing and you want a great community, the best in my opinion, obviously I am a little biased, but I love it. I love everyone in there. It's a very tight-knit community. Everyone's holding GME. It's just a good time. So we are running our President's Day promo, James and I. If you would like information on this, just message him or I the words promo on Twitter and we'll get you taken care of. I wanted to save it for the end though, because I hate when people sell stuff in the beginning. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.